Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
All right, so today we have Ravi Jagtiani on again, and Ravi was with us last fall, but Ravi, it's great to have you back. You've got some new things happening. We're going to talk about syndication, so give us a little clue about what you're syndicating these days.
So our focus as a syndicator is on retail shopping centers as well as single tenant, properties. Uh, we started off in this space about close to 10 years ago now. We focus on multi-tenant. Initially focused on multi-tenant retail shopping centers across the U.S. Mostly Texas market, Arizona market. Those were the two primary market that we invested our money in, and of course California because we're here locally. Uh, we make sure that we invest in, sort of service type tenants. We are not investing into something that can get hampered or impacted by e-commerce, right? So we don't do any big box retail. We don't do any Macy's, Ross kind of tenants, right? We do tenants like what a average people require day to day, like going for a haircut. So we have great clips in our portfolio. We have a couple of restaurants in our portfolio. We have a lot of childcare facilities in our portfolio as well, both as single tenants as well as a part of a multi-tenanted property. We have dental clinics, we have chiropractors. So basically, any businesses that have a lot of inherent value, what that means is they're not going to shut shop and you will have vacancies typically, right? These businesses have value in them, so they do get, if they are retiring, if the current ownership is retiring, they will more than likely sell the business and then ask you for transferring the lease over to the new tenant. So you as a landlord will always have a tenant, even though it might be a different tenant occupying the same business, right? So
Yeah, no, very secure, nicely vetted and so forth, so that you don't end up with vacancies or as little vacancies as possible.
yes, I mean, the idea behind this is, that retail is always going to be there. I know at some point in the past, people have said that retail is dying, is taking over by e-commerce, which is true. But then that's like, not every part of retail. Retail is too broad, right? So
Right.
are always going to be needed. You won't go on I don't see people going on the fifth floor and getting a haircut or going on the fifth floor and buying shoes. They all have to be on the ground on the first floor level, right? So
Right.
that those properties will always have value, as compared to offices, etc., which you can build more, and the older ones will lose value over time. But the retail is always going to have value. We also make sure that our centers have part investment grade tenants and part mom and pops, because both have their advantages and disadvantages. Investment grade tenants, what I mean by that is like a Starbucks or a brand like that, versus mom and pops would be like a mom and pop cafe or a mom and pop childcare facility, right? We always try to balance our centers by having both types of tenants.
Yeah, so your expertise really is in the childcare world, and it sounds like the childcare world is pretty busy right now in terms of group selling and buying new locations.
Yes, I mean, childcare is a recession-proof industry in a way, right? So there's always going to be demand for childcare, and in turn, I will always find buyers for them. And luckily, I have a niche in selling those. So any listing that anybody who's planning to retire out of that industry will contact me to list it with me, and then every time I see something which is lucrative and has comes with real estate. Most of these listings that I sell are just businesses, but sometimes they do come with real estate, and if the location is good, numbers make sense, then we buy it as a syndicator, and then in turn we will find a tenant for who will then in turn buy the business while we buy the real estate and keep the real estate.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great plan to work with. And you've also been working with some development sites that one in particular in Belmont is using the SB 1133 method to try and redevelop a location. Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Sure. So my, my family business was in development. So obviously I understand development. I'm also serving on the planning commission in Foster City. So that's how I get to, I understand development and land use laws, etc. So that's how I, got into selling land. Uh, the particular listing you mentioned in Belmont is a part of the church, and originally when I did get the listing, the idea was to market it as an SB4, and as an SB4 opportunity. And what SB4 meant was it's a state law that allows churches and schools to redevelop their property either on a joint venture basis with a developer or offering it to them on a long-term lease, like a 99 plus year lease, uh, or for the churches themselves to redevelop it, right, as a self-development option, wherein they can get high density projects approved on a ministerial basis, which means no planning commission requirements, um, for high density, right? And then obviously those have to be affordable units. So the original idea was to sell it as an SB4 or find a buyer who would do an SB4 with the church. However, given the market nowadays for affordable housing projects, they don't pencil out these days because of the cost of construction going up as well as interest rates being high, plus not much funds are available with the state to give it to developers to use for developing such projects. So we did end up finding buyers that are market rate developers and trying to build single family or townhomes on the site. So the current buyer that we found was interestingly came up with a new proposal. It's a new law that has come up. It's called SB 1123, which allows you to develop up to 10 single family homes on a lot. And homes have to be like a starter home. I think it's up to 1750 or 1800 square feet each home. You can't go bigger than that. Technically, they have to be starter homes.
Right.
And again, it's a ministerial process. You don't have to go through all the zoning changes, zoning amendments, etc. This particular developer has experience doing that, in Napa and in LA, and this possibly would be the first of its kind project in the Bay Area if it goes through. So they're in contract right now. They're doing the due diligence with the city to figure out if it's an option over there on that site.
Well, I suspect the city has never seen this before either, the 1123, and so they're probably a little slow to respond, but maybe not.
Yes, so they are going to be slow to respond. They are not. I mean, cities are aware in terms of that this law has been passed, and they know that they cannot oppose it. However, obviously, no applications have been put forth in. I don't think in any of the cities as of now in the Bay Area. So it's something new that the cities are yet to comprehend and implement. Right. So this would be a test to see if how feasible it is in for Belmont to accept it.
Yeah, well, in theory, the state rules override the local rules, so they should go through with it fairly quickly. But that, Belmont is Belmont, so who knows how quickly that'll happen. But that'll
Right.
be interesting to see how that all turns out and how that goes forward. So, what's your crystal ball saying about the kind of next 6 months to a year in terms of the whole kind of market, so to speak?
Well, it's a strange market right now, right? I mean, we don't know what the future of anything is, right? And
Yeah, true.
happening with AI and jobs, and so market is kind of in a wait and watch situation right now. We don't know how AI is going to impact a lot of industries, a lot of businesses, be it retail, be it offices, be it whatever. But however, what I'm seeing though is a huge demand for small businesses right now,
Mm.
right? So luckily, I am one of the top business brokers in the state. So I sell a lot of businesses. So the demand for buying businesses is through the roof because obviously a lot of folks in the in various industries, especially tech and biotech, are losing jobs or have a fear of losing jobs at least. So they're looking to supplement their income by becoming small business owners. So I get almost what 6 to 7 calls a day from tech buyers trying to buy get into a business.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So they're trying to buy a daycare, buy any kind of business that's available, huh?
Right. So right now I'm selling daycares. I know people know me for my daycares because I sell 95% of them in California, but I'm also selling restaurants. I'm selling hotels, motels. I'm selling, we're selling e-commerce ventures, e-commerce businesses. We have a salon for sale in Fremont right now. So I sell a whole bunch of different businesses, right? So there's a demand for any and every kind of business out there. Obviously, the ones that have a much higher positive cash flow that can easily, supplement a tech income. Those are more in demand from these tech buyers, right? So a daycare can have high positive cash flows, just because
Right.
of the nature of the business. Some large daycares do make 300 to 400 to even $500,000 in profits a year, right? So that those are more attractive to high net worth buyers, right? So
Exactly. They're trying to place some money and get some return on it.
correct.
Yeah. So that's a big deal. So, any rate, it sounds like the future is unknown a little bit, but certainly small businesses seem to be going full blast. I'm certainly experiencing that same thing.
Yep, small businesses are doing well. On the other hand, there are sellers out there as well because obviously people are retiring. A lot of people are of retirement age. They can't technically continue to live in California. Affordability is low here, so people want to retire at some point in time. So those are the sellers of these businesses, right? They want to retire, get their money out, leave the state, settle somewhere peacefully, with a lot of money in their hands. So both, I'm seeing a lot of, uh, basically a lot of inquiries from both sides, sellers as well as buyers, which is a good thing for a broker like me. Thank
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Makes for a very robust business going on, for sure. That's great. Well, give us a little clue then, Ravi. Tell us again where people can get a hold of you, because there's a lot of buyers and sellers out there looking for you, I think.
Well, you will find me everywhere on Biz Buy Sell. I'm in all these websites. You have my contact information. I can share that. My email is Ravi underscore Ravi at jaktianigroup.com. I think it's in my display there. My phone number is 669-226-7416. Again, 669-226-7416. My website is www.my last name, which is jaktianigroup.com. That's www.jagtianigroup.com. Just shoot me an email or a text, and I'm happy to send you either any syndication deals that we're working on right now, or any business opportunities that you're looking to buy. Reach out to me, and I'm happy to help.
Well, I assume your website has a listing of all the things you have available at this time, or most of them, some of them.
Some of them, not everything, because a lot of these businesses need to stay off market because they're
Mm.
operating businesses, right? So,
Yeah.
there are parents involved, there are teach staff involved, which they are not supposed to know that their owners are selling the business. So,
Yeah. No,
confidential in nature. So when somebody reaches out to me, first thing they need to do is sign an NDA before before I send them more information.
yeah, no, that's critical. I mean, if the staff starts to find out the business is for sale, they tend to leave fairly quickly. So,
They don't leave, but they panic, right? I mean, the
yeah,
questions asked, right? What's going on, etc. But which obviously the sellers don't want to dodge those questions until a deal is being done, right? It's actually in contract. But yeah, typically staff does not leave even once the business is sold, because as long as the new buyers can keep them comfortable and let them know that it's going to be business as usual, right? I mean, typically that's the case. Nobody comes and changes things around in a small business. It typically stays the same. It's just that the ownership has changed, nothing else. Typically.
yeah, exactly. Well, you want to keep that income going up. So, yeah, you don't want to change things drastically and end up with a business that goes downhill. So,
Right.
any rate, it's always a very interesting challenge, and certainly keeping quiet is a big factor about that situation. Well, let's keep in touch. This was great to touch base with you again after a few months. I think we should continue this road. In another 3 to 6 months, we're going to check in and see how the world is treating us.
Sounds good. Thanks, Bruce. And yeah, next time I'll probably come up with a different topic. I sell a lot of different things, so happy to we can discuss something else next time.
No, that'd be great. We'll find another topic, and that'll be fantastic.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.